Hi there, I'm Sipka, and this is the Apatros Review. Now in this episode we take a look at another adult DOS game, and in the previous episode I did Artworks Strip Poker 2, and in this episode, actually I'm not going to do an age restriction on this particular episode because I'm not showing any nudity or anything, but please be aware this is an adult game, so it's not suitable for people under a certain age. Anyway, now this particular game I'm reviewing here is called Fuck Quest. That's the name of the game. It's a homebrew indie game that was made in 1998. It was compatible with the Atari ST and the MS-DOS. It was also available for Windows at the time. And it was developed, published, and programmed by Richard Eater. That's E-T-E-R. Now this game can be currently found on abandonware sites, such as my abandonware, which is where I downloaded the MS-DOS version. That is the subject of this review. It is also available on archive.org last time I checked. Anyway, now in the old days, and by that I mean the 1980s and 1990s, a great many gamers played computer games that consisted of primitive quality graphics and text parsers. Sierra Online was the leader in this field, with the King's Quest franchise being one of their most well-known outputs. The engine that was used for many Sierra games was also used by many independent homebrew developers. In 1998, developer Richard Eater designed an adult parody of the Sierra Online type of adventure game, which is still to this day relatively obscure. Not many people have heard of this game, but I aim to change that like a reputation, or at least by a little. And I seem to be the only, I'm probably the first person on YouTube to pretty much review this game comprehensively. Now, Fuck Quest, yes, that's the game's actual title. By the way, if you take a very close look at the depiction of the letter U in the title, let me just zoom in. You'll notice that this is actually a depiction of a woman's legs, and there's even an asshole there. Nice attention to detail, buddy. Now this is a very short, well, an average playthrough takes about around 7 to 10 minutes to complete. Very short adult game where you play a bloke named Richard, who is a virgin looking for a good fuck to pop his cherry. I'm not going to show up gameplay because, you know, there's quite nudity in this thing. Now, as Richard, the player has to undertake certain tasks to enable him to score with the only available woman in the game. If you want to look at this game, you can pretty much download it. It's for free. Now, you need to obtain a rose to offer to the girl, a guitar to play a love song, and your secret weapon, a rubber mask that makes its users look like Brad Pitt. Very effective. Getting each of these items will add to your score out of a possible 69 points maximum. And the score will be boosted every time you do something the game wanted you to do. Now, to be honest, this isn't that substantial of a game. It feels like a 1990s version of your typical homebrew indie game that you can find on sites like GameJolt and itch.io, only with less gameplay than any of today's currently available examples. But the reason why I rate this as a passable game with a C+, 5 out of 10 grading is because as far as adult parodies go, it does the job surprisingly reasonably well. Although, to get to maximum appreciation, you need to be experienced with the original Sierra Online adventure games that this thing is taking the piss out of. So, if you've played those Sierra games in the past, then you'll appreciate the joke fully. And at the very least, the game does exactly what it says on the tin. You get the fuck. Now, when you successfully score the chick, she takes you to her house and you get a good view of her lady wobbly bits, drawn with the same exact attention to detail you expect a horny 13-year-old boy to pull off at MS Paint in a high school computer lab in the late 1990s. On a personal note, I was 13 years old myself in 1998, so this game came out the exact year I entered high school. If the circle of friends I was in at the time had heard of this game, you'd best believe me we would have been all over it. Well, ultimately transposed where we played StarCraft in the Brood War on high school computers. Our teachers were very diligent in preventing any unauthorized programs from being installed on our computers. Although I myself was actually only a couple of years away from discovering the school's default login name and password, which when I finally discovered that, I exploited the shit out of that. I still remember that login password to this day. Anywho, the solitary sex scene in this game comprises of you positioning your disembodied John Thomas into the right position to bump the proverbial uglies. But you have 4 different positions to choose from. The best tactic is to pick one position, screw with an eye on the score so when the score goes up, stop, pick the next position, and then repeat this method until you screw it in every position to get a maximum score. That's really about it. It's really a 10-minute one-joke game, but it did provide a good laugh from me, and I don't have any real issues to know about this game. It is a text parser game, but I have experience of playing text parsers, so I don't have any problems with the typical issues associated with the text parser format. And I'm going to be reviewing quite a few text parser games coming up in this year. I've got a surprise for you this Halloween. Now, as I have mentioned, this game has earned itself a C+, 5 out of 10, meaning it's a passable effort. You'll get some good, clean, heterosexual fun with this game, and if you're a virgin, it provides a decent virtual cherry popper. Now, for gore nudity, there's no gore scene here, not that kind of game. As for nudity, there's plenty of nudity here. The TV in the player's living room, when turned on, plays a skin flick in stereo online DOS graphics sort of thing. There is a couple, basically a stick figure dot stuff. There is a couple screwing on a bench along your way to the chick of your dreams, a nude billboard, and in the climactic screwing, the chick's crotch area is reasonably detailed by stereo online engine standards. Now, this game is currently considered abandonware, and you'll find it on sites like My Abandonware, also available at archive.org. So keep an eye out for that. Now, like I said, this is an obscure game. Not many people have heard of it, and I'm probably the first person on YouTube to actually do like a proper review of this game. There are others who have done playthroughs, but anyway. So if you want some some good something funny to pass the time, like if you have 10 minutes to kill, look for this. There is a sequel for this, which I'll review in the future, which is actually a lot better than this. Believe me, it's a lot more substantial. Anyway. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I've got a few surprises coming up for Halloween. Wait till you see that. In fact, this Halloween will be the first Masochistoween. That's my new Halloween special from now on. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, I do not do requests, but if you have any questions about DVDs or films or even games, my sister's yelling at her dog. Gina's misbehaving. Yeah, I love that dog. If you have any questions, just hit me out in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. I'm still recovering from COVID, so that's why my speech is a little different. Alright. See you guys, and enjoy yourselves.